All right, so here I am at my gym with a very special guest again. Last time I had Nick here and we did Korean. Interesting fact, Nick is married, all right? Guess who he's married to? Yes, all right?
Yeah.
This stud right here.
Lucky
right?
guy.
Yes, very lucky, both of them. But I don't know who's studlier, Nick or this guy, but his name is Austen. Okay, Austen Weinhart, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. But I can't be more blessed because those two come together, and I wanted to interview Nick and Austen together, but Nick wasn't able to make it today, so I might be able to do a separate interview with him later. But today I got my luck with Austen. So today what we're doing though is not Korean. We're not going to talk about any languages. We're going to talk about personal training. And I know for a fact, like my viewers, all of you are from all over the world. It's not just Los Angeles. So, you know, we're not going to just sit here and be like talking about like me, like, you know, how great of a trainer I am and, how manly I am, how studly I am, how good looking I am. You know, none of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not gonna get into that stuff, okay? We'll do that some other time maybe. But what I want to do today is I want to talk about training because I really do believe that, you know, my work is essential for everybody, wherever you are in this world. And Austen, it's almost 2 years, man.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
Yeah, almost 2 years. He's been with me for almost 2 years, so he's been very dedicated. So I think to hear from him, and Nick's been with me for over a year too, but to hear from someone who has a lot of experience about training, I think is very important for my viewers. And so I've printed out 5 questions for Austen, but before I go into that, Austen, can you just like give a brief introduction about yourself? Anything about like just, you want to introduce yourself at all? Like,
Sure. What can I say about myself? I've been born and raised in Los Angeles. I live very close to Tiger Studio here. This has really been the only program that's actually done anything for me. Historically, I've been what you call in the skinny fat category, although before I started coming in, I was starting to edge into the fat category.
True.
Yeah, but this has been the program that's worked for me, so happy to be here. Awesome,
thanks man. Okay, so look, I have 5 questions for you, Austen, and then I might do the same questions for Nick, I might not, but again, I want everyone to really listen to what Austen has to say because this is about training in general. Whoever your trainer is or whatever training you want to go into, this will be a great video for you. So look, question number 1, Austen, what made you seek a personal trainer in the first place? That was like about 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I mean, realistically, I'm not the kind of person who can do it on my own. Like if I went to the gym, I might do like 2 pumps and then decide it's time to have a smoothie and go home. When it comes to fitness, I don't really have any self-discipline. So I realized that unless I have someone that's going to hold me accountable, I'm not going to do it.
Okay, and you know what, Austen? I remember when you told me a story about fencing. Like you and Nick would fence together, but something happened with you. Why did you have to give up fencing?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that one. So me and Nick were doing a fencing class together as like an activity, and he really took to it. I enjoyed it too, but I was realizing very quickly I was not able to keep up with the group classes because with fencing you're always kind of squatting and moving back and forth, so you're always in motion. It's surprisingly very intensive.
Oh yeah.
And so, I just got to like a certain point in the class where I was like, I need to sit down. I couldn't keep up. And that was also a major motivator for me to be like, okay, before I can get back into this, I need to work on my core and my stamina in general. And I've been to other fitness classes in the past where, like CrossFit or other types of similar training where similar things happen. I couldn't keep up with the rest of the class and they were not able to modify it, for one person. So all the more motivation to go to personal training.
So let me make a quick comment as his trainer. When he first came in, I don't know how he felt about himself, but I can compare him from, nearly 20 years of experience. This man's condition was very weak. So for him to actually even come in and even start and have the courage to do that, believe me, it's not easy for people to do. It could be I'm not trying to single him out, but it could even be embarrassing,
It was embarrassing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because if you can't really keep up with other people and it's not even that much work, you could feel judged. You could feel like maybe something's wrong with me, and all these psychological factors come in. But Austen overcame all that, and he brought himself in. He made the payment, and we started, and that was 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
I want to tell you that that's why I say I look up to this guy a lot, right?
Yeah, and I mean that shame was also part of the reason I also had trouble going to the gym too, is because like I'd be on the machine and I would feel like people are waiting on me, and like they're thinking, oh, you're wasting. Why are you even bothering like with this kind of weight?
Yeah. So that's the first part question I wanted to lay out to all of you, the viewers, okay? And then we'll go into more about Austen's experience as a client of personal training. So look, so number 2 goes into that question. Austen, how was the feeling of working out in the very beginning with me? Like after we got the first session in, second session in, third, fourth, like let's say, okay, if you can remember very specifically, how did the first 10 sessions feel? Was it like, like, I'm sure it wasn't like a walk in the park, you just kind of like, oh, let's do this, all right, no big deal, all right, I'm going home. I'm sure it was not like that. So if you could tell honestly, like your experience, the first 10 sessions, if you can remember, how was that feeling?
I mean, they were tough for sure. I mean, but, like I was definitely being pushed, because I wasn't pushing myself at all. So, I mean, it did feel like a lot, but you were very like accommodating, like patient, I felt like, making sure that we ramped up slowly, at a rate that's doable. And also, like, you were very conscious to make sure that I wasn't lightheaded or getting nauseous or different things so I didn't overdo it. But but I mean, overall, and then also you're easy to talk to, so you don't feel bad. You're coming in and you're chatting, and that kind of makes the time go faster. So I would say, I mean, generally my memory isn't so great, but I would say I was definitely getting winded a lot faster at the beginning, but you were very patient, and I definitely felt like I was making progress quickly.
So that professional help really put you to a new milestone that you couldn't do on your own, because if that professional help was just like not caring, or just a buddy of yours you were just working out with, kind of not really, looking at you might have just been demotivated in less than 10 tries, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've done fitness classes before where I got a migraine because I overexerted myself, and then, as you can imagine, I don't come back. So, it's definitely to have someone who can look at you and adjust based on where you are. I mean, that's huge. Yeah, I'm really glad this worked out, because, again, ladies and gentlemen, this guy was not even healthy. I'm not trying to point him out again, but because now he's amazing. Point away, yeah.
But now you're amazing.
I knew at the time I wasn't healthy, and that's why I came here. So
my point is, like, people like him, like Austen, there's countless people I know of as a trainer, that professional help, that assistance to be next to you, that makes a night and day difference, and that could change your life. And I see it in him. He's an example. So I'm very glad we're doing this interview. Okay? All right, Austen. So let's go to, then it's leading very naturally. So Austen, question number 3. What kind of physical or mental changes outside of this gym did you experience after 3 months of training? Can you remember?
Oh, well, I mean, definitely, I was getting winded here doing small exercises. I was feeling exhausted in my day-to-day life. I also have like a senior dog who's like about 25 pounds, and I had to carry, and I have to carry him downstairs because he won't walk. And it was exhausting, and now I can even hold him with one arm now.
Jeez, that's awesome, dude.
It's not a big deal. But I was also getting to a point when I was getting it was starting to get a little bit fatter from the first time in my life, not just skinny fat, where if I laid on my stomach, it would start hurting.
Oh, wow.
Which I didn't never experience before. And I was just always feeling like very tired and just very low energy. So since coming here, I definitely feel like I have more energy. I can do my I can carry groceries when I walk home and things like that, and not feel exhausted. And it's made a big difference for sure.
So awesome. Listening to you right now talk, I mean, these are just like little things like here and there that you're talking about, like groceries, dog, lying on your stomach. I mean, these are like tiny things, but if they keep adding up and they just keep having all this discomfort, Can you just imagine? Like,
Oh, it does take a toll psychologically, for sure.
yeah. So my point is, like, you know, these things that you don't even notice, right? Like it could just transform everything, and he's a perfect example. So I love hearing this because you're not. I mean, when you take groceries or when you pick up your dog, you're not thinking, well, if I get a personal trainer, I can hold my dog with one arm. You know,
Yeah.
no one does that. But my point is, when it happens and when you experience it and when you feel it, right? You know, like, man, this investment that I made. It's like it adds up as a big picture. It is immeasurable in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. Like, I didn't come here to get like ripped or to be sexier than I already am.
You are sexy though.
Thank you. I was fishing for that, but you know, I just wanted to be healthy, you know, and to feel like, you know, yeah, basically that I wasn't wasting away.
Yeah, and right now he gave perfect examples. So I love this interview. I'm so loving it. Okay, Austen, let's go to question number 4. So there's two questions left, 4 and 5. Number 4, Austen, how would you respond to this statement? Training is too expensive. How would you respond?
I mean, it depends where you go, of course. Different trainers charge different rates. I mean, I think you're pretty reasonable compared to some of the other ones I've compared to. I also go with my husband, so we save a little bit there. But for me, it got to the point where it was like, I was feeling so unhealthy that, you know, it could affect my, you know, like, not that I would die tomorrow, but, you know, it could affect my life expectancy or other quality of life things. So to me, it seemed like almost like a medical expense. Like, I need to do this for my health. Like, I'm between jobs right now and I'm still paying for it because I find that that's how valuable that is, both to my physical health, because I know I don't want to go back to where I was, but also for my mental health too. Like, I definitely feel a lot less anxious and depressed than I was previously. So to me, it's an investment in my health is how I look at it. Yeah,
and again, talking back about like how all these little things changes, you know, I mean, if you have this money you're not spending with me, I mean, or with your trainer or your professional, you know, physical assistant guy, whatever. My point is, you know, if you're not expending your money there, I mean, where else are you gonna spend it anyway? I mean, what are you gonna get some extra food? I mean, you go out and have more fun. I think that's just all expense. But when you come here, like he said, it's like his medical. He said expense, I think, but it's an investment because when you put your money into a physical program like this, that money goes back to you and you start growing from it. So when you go out and like spend money to just have that extra cash, or like to go out and just to be more free with money, I mean, is that true freedom? I mean, you're probably gonna most likely to spend it in places that you shouldn't be spending it anyway. So I think he's making the very wise choice that he's smart enough to set aside that energy that he stored, which is called money, so that it will go into his body again, and that the rest of the money that comes in the future, he just repeats that process, and all those little things that were messing him up in the past, they just start disappearing forever. Okay? Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. And I would also say, like, if you're feeling miserable all the time physically, like, you're not going to have fun with the other things anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely worth it, in my opinion.
Thank you, Austen. Okay, so we're going to go to our last question, Austen.
All right.
Okay. Austen, if someone was on the fence about personal training, what would your advice be to that person?
Well, I guess, you know, ask yourself honestly, like, do you think that you can reliably exercise on your own and get the results that you're looking for? Some people can, some people can't. I cannot. I've learned to accept that about myself. And also, like, for me, like, with personal training, I try to eliminate as many barriers as possible, or as many excuses as possible that would keep me from coming. Like, I picked a place that I could walk to from home because I don't want to make it, because I know I could easily make excuses. Oh, there's too much traffic, or I'm running late, so why even bother? I won't make it in time. Also, you know, definitely having a trainer that you get on well with, like, that we can have fun and chat with, makes the time go by faster. And then also, I would say too, I mean, whether you go by yourself, but I go with my husband, and that also adds an extra layer of accountability that also helps me ensure that I'm not gonna make excuses not to come, because I can very easily find excuses if I look for them. Did that answer the question, or did I go off on a tangent there?
No, I think you did a very good job. That's because I want to make a point on what you just said. Yeah, like, you know, if you think you could do it on your own, like he just said earlier, again, I'm just speaking professionally. I'm not trying to, tell everyone, to tell the whole world you're all weak. But honestly, to hold yourself accountable to work out, I mean, I'm telling you, everyone, if you're just looking at the population of the United States, maybe even like 1% can do that. So I even tell myself, like, I'm actually in that 1%, unfortunately, but there's even trainers who have a hard time working out on his or her own. That person just starts losing, track of fitness. So I made a promise to myself, if I ever fall in that category, I too will invest in training. If there's no way I keep making excuses and this and that, I will have to set aside a part of my stored energy, namely money, set aside so that someone will hold me accountable and not make those excuses like he said. That person will always be there, and that person should be someone we could get along with so that I could look forward to going to that person and make sure that the program is right for me. So I think I wanted to add on what he just said. It was perfectly said. So that's it, Austin. We took care of all the questions for today. Is there anything else you want to add, or should we just end it here? It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, just to restate, like, I really do feel like training has changed my quality of life. I was getting really, really unhealthy, and it would have led to serious medical problems, I think, if things had stayed the way they are. So I would just encourage people to be honest with themselves. If you think you can work on it on your own, go do it. But if you know you're not the kind of person that will do it, then it's worth investing in, I think.
He's saying it perfectly, everyone. So Austin, I'm so glad we did this interview, man.
Yeah, me too.
This is my first interview. I mean, I never did an interview like this. So I'm very happy we got this done. And hopefully we'll get the sexy man number 2 back, Nick Creason, and we'll do an interview with that guy. Because he's been in 2 of my videos already, so we need a comeback for episode 3 with Nick. So Austin, put it there, man.
All right.
Okay. And I'll see you on Tuesday?
Yep, see you Tuesday.
Tuesday night is our next training. All right, till then, everyone, take care.
Later.